Morris County Fiscal Court to order, February 6, 2018. Under guests, Tim York, County Clerk, financial settlement for 2017 purchase election equipment. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Judge, gentlemen. Got my settlement for calendar year 2017 here. Receipts this year were $10,092,039.77. Disbursements of $9,814,898.05. And my 2017 excess fees are $277,141.72. And I've given a check to Emily this morning, so I'm sure she'll deposit that today. So I don't have a check to present you. One of these years, I'm going to bring one of them great old big ones in here and we can have a photo up. But anyway, that's my settlement. Probably need a motion accepting it subject to audit.
So move, subject to audit.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I also wanted to talk about the fire and the fact that I've submitted to CAECO, to Mike Gilligan, the adjuster, I guess an inventory of the things that at least we can identify. You know, it's probably like if you lose your house, you've got stuff that you won't really realize it's gone until you reach for it and it's not there anymore. But I submitted to them an estimate of $417,181. I talked to Mike Friday, and he told me that he was planning on getting this to CAECO and hoping that he would have my approval to purchase by today, because I'm going up to Lexington to talk to Harp. Harp Enterprises is the vendor on my voting machines, and I'm going to be talking to them tomorrow morning. And I was hoping at that point to be able to go ahead and tell them, yeah, this is what we want. I would still appreciate if you guys, because we won't meet, y'all won't meet again for a couple of weeks, if y'all would give me the authority when CAECO gives me approval to purchase, give me the authority to purchase this so we can get this process started rather than waiting another couple of weeks. So that's my other thing, is asking for approval to purchase, particularly voting machines. Some of this stuff, voting machines and supplies, some of the stuff we lost, such as extension cords, you know, we can probably get, but the voting machines, we'd like to go ahead and get those on order so we can get them here by election time. And I don't know what form that needs to take.
Well, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
Not really. I think we're going to have to do this. I want to make sure that, because fiscal court will actually have to, county clerk's office doesn't purchase this, fiscal court will, but I'm kind of the guy that I guess needs to be the point man on this part of it. So,
what's our cost on this?
just the voting machine of this $417,000, the stuff coming from Harp is probably going to be the bulk of it, probably over $400,000 looking at it. In fact, maybe 408 or so of it is going to be to Harp, because we lost voting machines, we lost all the booths where you mark your ballot, and we had a bunch of those, 128 of those. We lost bags that we send to the precinct. We send ballot bags, and we also send clerk bags. So we lost a lot of miscellaneous stuff like that.
We had discussed last special call meeting, I think about $400,000, so it was already discussed, a projected dollar amount.
And we were also told, Jason, or Jeff, I had a discussion with him that this will be, I don't know if it has to be a formal declaration of emergency or if it's just a statute that we can go ahead and replace this stuff without going through any kind of bid process.
Yeah, that's what reason I was asking about that, because there is a provision that does allow for an emergency to forego the bid process.
Right.
And we had discussed that in that special meeting. The fire fell underneath that provision. So I think this motion would be just a continuation of that discussion.
Yeah, the educated guess that was discussed was between $350,000 and $400,000, and that's
yeah,
ballpark.
And we're a little over.
Right,
I guess everything goes up over the years, you know.
Our insurance is going to cover it on the replacement value, we think.
That is what, again, the only person I've talked to is Mike Gilligan, the adjuster. And the one thing I had concerns about, and the one thing that I want to get CAECO's approval, is that the firemen saved 12 of what we call our accessible machines, not the scanners, but the machine that almost nobody uses, but has to be in every precinct because it's handicapped accessible. And they saved 12 of those, but I feel and Hart feels that the fact that they were in there and the fact that we were spraying water all over that building and the fact that there was, a lot of you, I don't know, Kevin, if you were out there, but the smoke was so thick you couldn't hardly see out there. And I know all that smoke's got particulate matter, and these machines are basically just computers. And I don't trust them, maybe they'll fire up, but I don't trust them. Election day, it's not like Wendy's dump truck where if you have one go down, well, you can send it to the mechanic. If I have one go down, that's the day it has to work that day. It can't work tomorrow. It has to work today. So Mike told me that he was going to submit to CAECO replacing them all. But now I haven't heard from CAECO. Like I said, I was hoping to have all this information before this morning, but I don't.
So it sounds like it'd be a motion to move forward with you going up to Frankfurt and looking at the equipment.
And I guess giving me the authority to go ahead and tell them to order this when I get approval from CAECO to tell me that what they're going to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'll make that motion. If it hinges on CAECO's approval of their funding, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Tim, where did you, since you're at the podium,
Hang on a
did you
second,
look
hang
at
on.
the storage of those, the facility to store that? I know you said you went to Calvert City. Have you looked elsewhere?
I did, and in fact, I think Kevin and Brad and Scott have all, and then Shane Jacobs looked. We've looked at several buildings. We keep running into some brick walls so far. We found some buildings. We really would like to find a spot where big enough where my crew or my voting machines and the maintenance crew can be in the same building, because it gives me a warm feeling in my heart knowing that they're there every day. So if something's happened, they know about it, whereas I'm not out there every day. And that's part of our problem, is finding a building big enough, and then we need my voting machines need to be climate controlled. So we're still looking. We're still looking at it.
Can I make a suggestion, because I just thought of this? How about looking in the bottom of the judicial building? Because there is some room down there.
Yeah.
And it's got a loading dock to where you can load all that stuff. That might be an option. So I know there is some room down there. I don't know how much.
Yeah, I don't know. I know, it's a pretty good area down there. I didn't know about the process of getting in and out, how much trouble it would be getting in and out, particularly with the security down there. But I've kind of turned that over to Brad and them, and they're researching all of that.
We can come look at it. I think security is one of the things too. I don't know what, as far as access.
It's secure.
I'm talking about access. Who has access to it?
Well, I was about to say, we can set that up too. That wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank
Okay.
you.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Hey, Tim, hold on just a second. There is a requirement that there be a formal written certificate of an emergency filed. I don't know if that's been done yet or not. But in this case, given the interaction between the county clerk's office and fiscal court, I would like for both you and the judge to sign off on that certificate, just certifying that there is an emergency to forego the bidding process, and then file that with Des and with Indy's office.
We can do that. You gonna be in your office after court?
No, I'm leaving, but I'm not going to do anything today. I'll wait until CAECO tells me so. I will be back Thursday morning.
Okay. I'll leave it on her desk for you to sign then.
Okay.
Same thing for Wendy. Yeah, I mean, she can do that now too.
So the emergency was declared, but we just need a certificate signing off on that. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
About to say, we've already bought 3 trucks that we signed off on this morning.
Well, I mean, you can, just as, you
Just
can,
the paperwork to go
Yeah.
with the clarification that,
you can put in
Yeah.
your certification that it's retroactive.
Anything else for me? I keep trying to leave. You know. See
You're in a hurry.
Appreciate it. Next on their guest, LaDonna Correll, E911 Director. Good morning.
Good morning. I have 3 new hire recommendations this morning. The first is I would like to recommend to hire Jathan Brown to work at the Marshall County E911 as a full-time dispatcher with a rate of pay of $13.45 per hour and begin work on 2/8/18.
Is there a motion to approve?
Approve the hiring Jathan Brown.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the second is that I would like to recommend to hire Audra Brandenburg to work at the Marshall County E911, also as a full-time dispatcher with a rate of pay of $12.99 per hour and begin work on 2/8/18 as well.
Motion to approve the hiring of Audra Brandenburg.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I would like to recommend to hire Chris Thompson to work at the Marshall County E911 as a part-time dispatcher with a rate of pay of $12.58 per hour and also begin work on 2/8/18.
Motion to approve hire of Chris Thompson.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, LaDonna. Under guest, Autumn Hollis with Animal Control. Morning.
Good morning. I would like to recommend, I need 2 part-time employees at the shelter, and I would like to recommend Alyssa Crum. She's volunteered at the shelter for at least 4 years now, so she knows pretty much what goes on there. Starting, if I could, February 10th, and the pay rate of $10.21. Then my other recommendation is Destiny Timmons, same pay rate, starting date same, February 10th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next on their guest, ABC Director Scott Brown will give a quarterly update.
Good morning.
Morning.
This quarter will be from October 1st to the end of the year, December 31st. The gross revenue was $87,399.01. That's including $23,750 worth of new license that just came in, their yearly license fees, and minus the credit of $7,400. That's what we had to start giving the last quarter.
Any questions?
Motion to accept the quarterly ABC report, subject to audit.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I do have a question
Motion
about,
carries.
doesn't we have some legislation up there that's about to take away some of our fees?
They are pushing for a regulatory fee adjustment that will do away with it, that we can't have anything, but,
Which would take this $23,000 basically, is that right? Or
no, it would take
No,
the
it'd
whole
take all of it.
87,000.
the whole 87,000, well, that's nice of them.
It's meeting a lot of resistance. It's, one guy in Louisville. Louisville can't charge the regulatory fees because they were grandfathered in under the old law, and so they're trying to do away with everybody else. So, but it is meeting a lot of resistance, and I'm trying to keep an eye on that on the Reg Watch, and,
At least make some phone calls, I think everybody needs to be aware. I just read a blurb about it and need to make sure we contact our legislators.
it'd be nice if everybody would.
Yeah.
I think they're getting tired of listening to me, but.
That'd be good. That's fine. Thank you.
See, under correspondence, Aurora Community Park events, just to update, March 24th, 25th, Tough Man Bow Fishing, April 14th and 15th, Spawn Nation Bow Fishing, April 28th, Aurora's 11th Springtime The Shine Car Show. This is the last year, May 4th through the 5th, Aurora's Saw and Logs Chainsaw Carving Competition. It's going to feature 12 carvers. And May 31st, June 3rd, 400-mile yard sale, and June 21st, 23rd, the LBAA, Ladies Bass Anglers Association. All this will be posted on our webpage. Under correspondence, personnel changes. This is just an update. Delia Riley retired December 31st at 17. Andrea Howe terminated January 12th of 18. Lofton Riley Jr. is a new hire at the Sheriff's Office, effective January 29th, 18. Rate of pay $20.45 an hour. That's to update the court. Let's see, under correspondence, Marcella's Kitchen. I'll just read this. Dear Marshall County Fiscal Court, thank you for the generous 27 donation of $10,950 to Marcella's Kitchen. It is an honor to partner with you as we minister the needs of our friends in Marshall County. Our prayer is for God to multiply your gift back to 100-fold. Matthew 13:23. Sincerely, Marcella Perkins. They have an open house. It's going to be at 501 George Macklin Drive in Benton. It's going to be Sunday, February 18th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. If it's inclement weather, it'll be rescheduled. Sunday, February 25th, 1 to 3 p.m. So come out and join Marcella's Kitchen in their new facility and new location. Again, this will be posted on our webpage so everybody can see that as well. Let's see, under correspondence, MediaCom rate adjustments, I'll just read this. The local broadcast, the old rate is $10.96. The new rate is going to be $11.13. The net change is 17 cents. And that's going to take effect March 1st of this year. That's with MediaCom. Old business, approve the minutes for January 17th of 2018 and January 26th, 18, special call meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We've got the bid for sonar.
All right. January 30th edition of the Tribune Courier, the paper record. Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting sealed bids until 4 p.m. on Friday, January 26, 2018, at the Office of the County Judge Executive, 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky, for search and recovery underwater towed side scan sonar system. Bid spec may be picked up at the Office of Emergency Management, 1101 Main Street. Please write sealed bid on the outside of the envelope. Marshall County Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. Bid from Atlas North America. Marine Sonic Technology is officially placing a bid for consideration in Marshall County Fiscal Court. The bid is for the search and recovery underwater towed side scan sonar system. Specs. Total price $29,782.50. That includes $150 shipping. They're out of Yorktown, Virginia. Only one bid. Atlas North America.
What was the grant for?
That meet the specs that we had in the paper.
I'll let you take a look at that.
Kurt said the grant was for 30. Is that right, Kurt?
Yes, it's a tough job for Homeland Security grant. They awarded $30,000, so this is gonna come in right on the bid then. Everything that we it's a no-cost bid, like I said, the Fiscal Court, when we put the bid in the paper, it's a Homeland, Kentucky Office of Homeland Security grant, so that it'll be paid 100% by them.
We would need a motion.
Meets the spec, I would make a motion that we go forward with purchase of the sonar. from
Second.
North America, Atlas North America.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, bid advertisement, Brian had contacted us. He had an ambulance go down, blew an engine. The cost for the engine, it was actually the vehicle that he was going to be remounting anyways. So we had discussed it. It's going to be about $25,000 to put a new engine in it. But since we were going to remount that anyways for next fiscal year, we decided that it'd probably be best to go ahead and just get the bid advertisement going. That way, we can go ahead and get out in front of it, and we can still remount that vehicle next fiscal year. You've got the specs. He did a quote just to see what the cost would be on a quote. You got that in front of you. This would be a request to go into the bid advertisement to get that taken care of this fiscal year, but to fund it starting next fiscal year.
Okay, so we're gonna put a bid, a request for bids for a full ambulance chassis and all.
Yeah.
Not a remount.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'd make a motion that we go ahead and place that ad for this new ambulance.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the new business, you've got, in regards to the structural fire that we had, Bacon Farmer Workmen gave their estimates for the rebuild of the maintenance facility. This is just to update you. They went out and looked at the existing facility. They've got to, or we have to submit to the insurance adjuster what the rebuild cost would be. So you can see the 9,808 square foot facility. What the rebuild cost would be at 1.5 million, and it's got the design fees from the engineers. I think we had discussed Bacon Farmer Workmen, but now that we got their design fees, it may be something where we have to approve them to do the, we already approved them, but we didn't have the actual fees when we discussed that in that special call meeting. So will we need a motion to accept that? Does that make sense? We'll submit this to the insurance company. We would just need a motion to accept Bacon Farmer Workmen to do the design.
Do the design work. So moved for Bacon Farmer Workmen to do the design work on the new maintenance building.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, while we're on that subject, it's been brought to my attention that since we're building that new building, have we done anything about the coroner's office? Mitchell Lee's retired, and that coroner's office and all the exam rooms are in his business, and we're no longer able to use those facilities, or won't be after a short time. We're paying rent. I understand he's going to start charging us rent, which he has every right in the world to do, but have we thought of the possibility of when we reconstruct that building to maybe make room for him out there?
Yeah, if you look at the second document there, when Bacon Farmer Workmen came in, all the department heads that were involved sat down, and Tracy sat down as well. That square footage you can see is doubled. Now this is a conceptual plan, obviously, but yes, he sat at the table and gave his recommendations.
For it to be there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that would solve that problem. I just received this document start of the meeting, hadn't time to review that, but somebody had just brought that to my attention. I thought that would be a very good timing as far as in a central location.
We've got a resolution for the TVA in lieu of tax legislation. You should have that document in front of you. They have been trying to get this passed for several years. There's been several judge executives. You can see the counties, the 39 counties that are in the TVA area. This year, we're hoping that it'll pass. It'll be a huge impact for the counties economically, for the economic director's office. If you do the math on that $6 million, it would give us roughly $153,000 that can be used for economic development, which would greatly help us in achieving our goal locally in this county. So I know there's been a push to contact all the representatives involved, both in the Senate and the House, to support this bill. So we're going to put a resolution to show support for this bill. I'll just read this. Resolution of Marshall County Fiscal Court, Benton, Kentucky, urging the Kentucky General Assembly to pass legislation during the 2018 regular session which redirects a portion of the in lieu of tax payments the Tennessee Valley Authority pays to the state back to the TVA counties for economic development and job creation purposes. Whereas, as a result of the Great Depression, the United States Congress in 1933 passed the TVA Valley Authority, TVA, Act to address a wide range of environmental, economic, and technological issues, including the delivery of low-cost electricity and the management of natural resources. And whereas the TVA provides power or holds other assets in all or a portion of 39 counties in south central, western, and parts of eastern Kentucky. And whereas the TVA provides electricity to over 205,000 Kentucky households, including a coverage area of over 7,000 square miles of Kentucky's lands and waterways. And whereas the TVA manages recreational, natural, and cultural resources on more than 60,000 acres of public land around the Kentucky Reservoir, partnering with local and regional stakeholders to improve water quality and conditions. And whereas in 2017, the TVA paid over $35 million in lieu of taxes to Kentucky state coffers. And whereas the purpose of the TVA in lieu of tax payments is to improve the communities TVA serves by creating jobs and economic expansion to help perpetuate the viability and growth of TVA services in the region. And whereas Kentucky counties in the TVA service area often lack the necessary funds to provide the local match requirements most grant programs require, and whereas we applaud the leadership of State Senator Stan Humphreys and State Representative Bart Rowland and co-sponsors who understand the challenges of the rural TVA counties to attract jobs and compete in the global marketplace, and whereas they have filed legislation to help address the need for jobs and economic growth opportunities in our TVA communities. And whereas House Bill 114 and Senate Bill 9 will reinvest a portion of the TVA in lieu of tax payments to allow these TVA communities to help themselves in providing jobs and improving the economic growth for all of Kentucky. And now, therefore, be it resolved this 6th day of February 2018 by Marshall County Fiscal Court, the Marshall County Fiscal Court hereby urges the General Assembly to pass House Bill 114, Senate Bill 9 in the 2018 session, which redistributes 50% of the state's portion of the TVA in lieu of tax payments equally to county and regional economic and industrial agencies in order to create necessary jobs and provide economic development opportunities in the region. A copy of this resolution shall be sent to each member of the Kentucky House of Representatives, each member of the Kentucky State Senate, and the Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Done this 6th day of February 2018. we would need a motion to approve this. The Invest Prep that we have submitted, that is a TVA grant. Maximum is up to $500,000. And obviously the match, if we had funds like this, instead of trying to find resources or dip into the general fund, these dollars could actually help to go and to match on that Invest Prep application. So this definitely is a good thing for the counties and the 39 counties in that TVA area.
Motion to approve TVA's request.
I've got a question. The way this is written, down here where we get to the end, I'm for this. I just want to be clear that it's for the TVA counties. It says now therefore at the end there, to redistribute 50% of the state's portion of the TVA in lieu of tax payments equally to county or regional economic development agencies. Is it specific enough that it's going to TVA service counties? I know it says that earlier, but is that, I just want to be sure we don't have something here that doesn't say what we want it to.
You talking about the Regional Economic Development Agency part of it?
No, I'm just talking about, it really doesn't say the TVA counties. It says the TVA in lieu of payments, but it doesn't really say to the TVA service counties.
I see what you're saying, to reword that to where it specifically states the 39 counties in the
Yes.
TVA region.
It may be clear previous, but to me, it kind of lumps it to where it's really not clear that it could be every county in Kentucky possibly. Anyway, that was my first thought when I saw it.
I think in the second paragraph, it discusses the 39 counties.
Yeah, it does. And that may be enough, I don't know. That may be a Jason question, I don't know, but it just struck me that it wasn't very specific right there at the end.
When I think House Bill 114 and Senate Bill 9 is specific to that.
Is it specific to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have not read those totally, but that was my only concern, that we want to make sure we direct that to where that 50% goes to the served counties. Other than that, I'm good with a second, as long as we're clear on that.
Okay.
We were sent this resolution, I'm assuming, right?
Is that right? That's what I was wondering, who had written it all up. But you think it's clear that it's the,
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to add that in there.
I mean, I would second it with, just so we can clarify that.
So, in the now therefore paragraph, sentence 4, TVA in lieu of tax payments equally to the 39 counties.
Yep. That would be it. Thank you.
I think it's by my understanding, it's by formula, property owned and so forth. It's, as the judge said, it's described in the,
The same way the school districts get it. They would get it for years.
Well, and this is specific for economic development. The school district, there are monies that go to school districts, but this is specific for economic development.
Right. The school district can use, from what I understand, whatever they want to.
We'll add that. I think there was a motion and a second.
Yes.
Approved. Okay. Let's see, move under new business, KIA loan. Last week, Rivercrest.
we need to vote on that. Motion second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The KIA loan, myself and Rivercrest went last week, sat with DLG for approval on the project profile that was submitted for the sanitation expansion. It was approved. You've got a copy of the Department of Environmental Protection. I'll just read this. The Division of Water hereby certifies that the Marshall County Fiscal Court is eligible to receive $3,066,988 from the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. The DOW certifies that the project scope is consistent with the scope that was used to rank the project on the intended use plan project priority list. Marshall County Fiscal Court's status relative to the Clean Water State Revolving Fund general conditions is provided below. Project-specific environmental information is expected to be submitted to the Department of Water on January 31st, 2018. Plans and specifications are expected to be submitted to the Department of Water on January 31st. Construction bids are expected to be open on March 18th, 2018. Upon compliance with the general conditions, the Department of Water will issue a final project certification prior to authorizing the loan agreement. Pre-construction and project management conference with the Department of Water must be held prior to commencement construction. If you have any questions concerning this letter, please contact Amber Vaughn, project manager. So we're waiting on the letter of agreement so that we can start the process for construction, put the bids for construction. So that's just to update you that it was approved. Once we get that information, we may, depending on when we get it, I may try to have a special call meeting before we meet on the 20th. But I know construction, they want to start getting that process going because of weather conditions throughout the construction time period. This is a fairly large project, so as soon as we get that, we'll bring it to the court and start moving on it. One thing to note, we did manage to, as far as a regional, the actual project met the standards for a regional project. So therefore, it was originally at 2.75%, and the loan is at 1.75. So that was good information that we had received. Does anybody got any questions on that? DRA requests under new business for reimbursement, performance progress report, federal finance report. I did speak, this is on the project out in Aurora. I did speak with Rural Water. They are anticipating getting us the documents that we need. We were supposed to get it 1st of January, but now it's going to be the end of February. So we're still waiting on them. This has been a lengthy process, which it typically shouldn't take this long, but however, we won't receive anything until now, the end of February. So once we receive that, we'll present that to the court. But this is the drawdown on that project in the sanitation district in Aurora.
Need approval on that drawdown.
Need approval.
Motion to approve the drawdown for this sanitation District 1.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. If you also look at that, Rivercrest has given a progress report there as far as what work they have done. On the new business, county clerk's audit year ended December 31st, 2016. We've had time to look at that. We just need a motion to approve or accept.
Motion to accept the county clerk's audit.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, road petition, Vaughn Chapel Road, Dunnigan Lane. There's been some issues that have been brought up about this. And I know, Anita, you reached out to my office and everyone else. asking some questions. I think the intent here for this petition, if you look at the documents, it's a lot easier if you go on Google Maps and look at it on the map. They're wanting, the family's wanting, is anybody here from the family? The family's wanting to sell some property, and you can see where the county road ends, and I believe the landowner has a gate at the end of the county road. They're wanting to sell some of the land that is at the end of that road, and if they did, there wouldn't have, that property wouldn't have any land access, or wouldn't have any road access. So they're petitioning to extend that county road. So I think before we do a public hearing, we would send Wendy, if you would want to go out and look at that, because I know that some of the questions that were brought up are legitimate questions.
Yeah, I don't think it has any residents, you know, beyond the gate, but, so I don't know if it would qualify as an existing road according to our agreement.
So it would fall on the private landowner to provide a road, or the new landowner to provide a road access to the county road.
That, see, if it were to qualify under the existing road, that would mean it would be cost sharing. But as far as length and all that, it doesn't appear to fit that. This used to be an extension to a county road. We don't really have a specific policy on extensions, other than if somebody were to bring it up to specs and ask the court to
Take it in.
into the county road system, you could do that.
So it'd be under a new, if they did that, it'd be under a new road.
Now, I don't know exactly, but, you know, if that's gonna happen, have you been to the end of it? Is there a turnaround now? You know, it might be in the county's favor to look into helping out here if you're gonna build, if it's gonna include turnaround. Because it needs a turnaround if it's a dead end road.
Yeah, it's a dead end.
If they wanna deed that to the county, and we could work with them on that issue. So, just give your options.
Okay. We'll notify the family or the landowner. Under business, we have a resolution, continuity of government. Kurt, do you got that resolution?
Yeah, it's a big, many pages. Basically what it is, a resolution that's mandated by 39D030. And in the event of any disasters, we have to show proof that we have continuity of government available to keep the county operations running efficiently. So we just drafted up this ordinance, and it'll stipulate it. It has to be a mobile, per se, like a fluid document. We'll have to review it each year and update it as personnel changes are made and all that. So basically, we just gotta show the state that we can operate our government if we go through a disaster.
You want me to read this? Or do you want to read it?
Yeah, the only one clarification under the flow chart, or under, for the fiscal court, the senior commissioner is the longest serving commissioner, not the oldest commissioner.
Also needs clarification in the event that you've got three that are
Have three new.
Yeah, that's
service
true.
time.
That's true.
What section
I
is that?
think the statute, I think the statute says that you all would elect who.
Somebody to
That's-
preside.
I think that's
Longest
what
serving
we've got, yeah.
is just, that's just a policy that, or just something that this court has done.
Well, that would hold true because the deputy judge executive is not qualified to preside over the meeting.
Exactly.
So that would be the same
He
procedure
would be,
you follow in that
the
case.
deputy judge executive in that situation
Who,
would serve in place of the county judge on day-to-day administration, but it'd be, one of you would have to serve in the meetings.
right, and that's by statute. Did your office put this together, or was this from the state?
It comes from the state, yeah. We can clean up a few issues there, but basically, we just have to have something on file with.
That's clarification.
I think don't we already have one in place? I thought we did one a few years ago.
I have no idea.
But unless, is this urgent, we do it today?
No.
Why don't we, we'll take a look at this and we'll.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but then only because the CFSB, I was, we had that set as a place
Yeah,
we could
that's-
do business.
Bob, that was, you remember it then.
Yeah.
That's working on that.
Yes.
Okay. If you would table that, we will work on it.
Motion to table the resolution till such times we want to take it back up.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Kurt, I would just go through this and do you keep them on file in your office? You have the old one?
We couldn't find an old one. That's one we're gonna have to do at this point.
We could have been working on it and maybe we didn't formalize it. I don't remember. We just have to say. I know we
CFSB
worked on
thing,
it.
that was a big part of it. I
Yes.
remember us.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got them listed
know-
as a secondary location, but
Yeah.
We
I don't
also,
think we've ever formally
Right.
created a document.
we had a contract to get, if you remember, we had a company contracted to bring in mobile, units and, computers at one time. That, I think that's maybe done. We don't have that now. and
No.
We paid
We
an
did a-
annual fee.
We did a whole lot of things. It was right after the ice storm. We
Yes.
worked on all
We
that.
had an annual fee that we paid, and they would bring in computers and telephone service and whatever else, say,
Yes.
if the courthouse burned or whatever.
Yes. At the time, Keiko didn't have any offering like that in their package, but now Belfour is who they use
But I
to
was
do things
thinking
like
there
that,
was
so that's
something
why
had
we
come
dropped
and-
it.
Right, exactly. With something else that had come up that, that would
It
take
was
the place
very
of that.
similar.
Okay, yeah, that's all part of what we did. Now, whether we formalized all that into a plan, I can't tell you that for sure.
Under new business, Possum Trot Sharp filed Fire Protection District Audit Report, June 30th of 2017. Need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept the audit report.
Second.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Before we move into the treasurer's report, I have one item to add. This is an email from the Marsh County Conservation Office. I'm just going to read this. In an effort to keep communication open and full obligations to our state office, we would like to schedule a meeting with the Fiscal Court. In the past, we have discussed funding issues regarding the 4 flood retarding structures we are responsible for maintaining. This year, we would like to schedule a time to show you these structures and explain their purpose, current issues, and potential future problems. Diana Engel, the National Resource Conservation Service Planner from the Benton Service Center, will be guiding this meeting along with some of our board members. The logistics of vehicles, etc., will be worked out when we finalize the numbers of people attending. Diana has the following dates available in the coming weeks. So they've given us some dates. In February, we've got the 13th, 15th, 16th, or the 21st. In March, the 6th, 7th, or 8th. Please feel free to discuss this with the members of the court included in this email, and let me know which date is best and which court officials will be attending. So they want to take us out. They want to basically, I guess would it be a, do we have to call the court to order to go out and view the, so we have to be a special call meeting? Okay. What dates work best for y'all?
I'm gonna be out of town. This also applies to the next court meeting. I'm gonna be out of town until the 24th of February.
Okay. If we go into March, let's see, we have fiscal court on the, looks like the 6th.
What about doing it that afternoon?
That'll work for me.
That would work for me.
Good with me.
All right. We'll do it, we're already gonna be meeting on the 6th, so
Be
I'll
good.
just send her,
Make it easy.
Yep.
maybe.
I'll just send her a email letting her know they can be staged and ready to go, and then we'll just meet up with them.
Pretty much, we have to set a time, pretty much, I mean,
Well, if you're gonna have me meet that morning, you will, just
Recess.
for a work session to go do that. I mean, it's still an open meeting, it doesn't have to be recorded, but obviously, we've opened the time.
so we want to schedule that before we adjourn
Yeah.
that day. So we want to schedule it at 10 o'clock or make that recommendation to, for the
But then
6th,
they'll be
7th,
gonna
and
be-
for the 6th, that we do it within court meeting so we can legally do
court
it.
meeting?
Well, not before, but during the court meeting.
Well, if I guess also,
You could
we
do
can
it
coordinate.
Following the regular business.
Well, I can shoot her an email and see what time they have in mind, and then I can put it on the agenda for our next meeting, as far as, what time we're gonna go out.
I'm just thinking, do we have to be here to adjourn the meeting? Location by,
No.
No,
You
No,
sure?
not if you, see, you're changing your location at that point, which you can do. You will have conducted your business here, close that part of your session and go into a work session. And then that location is gonna be in the field, and then you would, before you leave each other, just vote to adjourn, and the minutes would just reflect that at the end of the work session, you voted to adjourn.
follow us around.
All right, I'll send that email, back to Vicky, and we'll just set that up for the agenda on the 6th. Now we can do the treasurer's report.
As of January 31st, 2018, the general fund had a book balance of $1,409,460.57. The road fund, $603,297.29. The jail fund, $223,353.68. The grant fund, $17,337.50. The 911, $71,618.03. Occupational tax administrator, $5,288,851.44. Veterans Van Fund, 0. ABC Fund, $160,451.93. Building Inspection Fund, $47,620.26. Total Reporting Fund, $7,821,990.70.
Motion,
To accept the treasury report, subject to audit.
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Appropriations transfer.
Just a question, Judge, I know it's got the Veterans Vans Fund is in here. Is that program working well, that way it's set up now?
Yeah, with all
Isn't
the,
it? I heard someone talking about they had several, they had carried to different locations.
they had, I think, 7 drivers. They had to go up, I think it was this month, to get their, through the VA. You gotta go through the process, but they've got 7 drivers identified.
Okay, good. I knew that what I'd heard was good. It sounded good, so, yeah, good, thanks.
Appropriations transfer?
All of these listed here are departmental transfers, with the exception of the 3 at the top. I'm asking to move from general fund reserves into maintenance equipment and maintenance tools for the items lost in the fire, to go ahead and replace those. That way, the appropriation isn't negative, and when we get that money in from CAECO, when it's amended in, it would be put back into reserves to cover those items.
Motion to approve the budget transfers.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve payment of the bills.
Approve payment of the bills, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Yes.
I'd like to introduce the members of the Fiscal Court to Marshall County's first therapy dog.
Outstanding.
We, Jason and I have been out at school quite a bit, and the groups from Ohio and all brought in therapy dogs, and the kids just fell all over. And so I came back and checked into it, and Bama is on ID card and is registered as a service dog.
Outstanding. What's the dog's name?
Bama.
Bama.
When I heard that, I actually said something to my wife about it, and she said, absolutely, I think she has seen it make a great difference in kids, especially with kids, she said, with kids, that's what she
And
said.
I wanted to bring here and ask that if there are any groups, organizations, or just folks that want to meet him and want to check into this, I'd like to work on getting a program for more than one service dog and be available for other communities too.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, because when you looked at the map as far as where those dogs came from, it was
Oh, yeah.
further central and northern part of the state.
Right. But,
You're gonna retain custody of him, stay with you? Yeah.
oh, yeah, and he was my dog to begin with. I just followed up with him.
He behaves better than you do.
I know.
He smiles when the camera starts snapping.
Brett has done that too, has he not?
What?
I think Brett has done that too, has he not? No, seriously.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe so.
I think so.
His dog's not quite as well behaved as this one. This breed.
Jeff,
But
Jeff,
I just wanted to introduce him.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff, will you take walking around?
The dog is on his left, the master's on the right, just like that distinction.
He's always available for it.
The dog shows, I see the handles trotting, you know, and all that.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity to do that. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?